books more difficult?
Writing comics is way more difficult than writing books. Because you have to work with these other people, and they have thoughts and ideas, and they want to be creative, and to just generally not let me control them completely. So unreasonable. Yeah, it was difficult learning to kind of work with people. I think we finally found a happy balance of how we get it done now. You know, now I'll turn in like a detailed outline and say, this is what issue 1 needs to look like, here's issue 2, here's issue 3. And, you know, we'll try and be sure to cliffhang every issue. And then I turn it over to Mark Powers, and Mark, you know, actually writes the script. And that's been working out fairly well. The first one, but for Welcome to the Jungle, I wrote the whole script myself. And I was like way too controlling on it, because I modeled my approach on how Neil Gaiman did the Sandman. He did Sandman. And I was so I was way too auteur about it without knowing anything about the industry, which was the difference. Was Neil actually knew something about the industry when he was doing it, but I was too dumb to know that that's what I was doing. So I ran into problems like, you know, people telling me, you can't have this much conversation there. And I'm like, why not? Well, because if you have this much conversation there, there's no room left for drawing pictures, and then it's just a novel, and it's not a graphic. And I'd be like, I see your point. But anyway, it was a real adjustment learning to work with other people, because they do. Other people are involved and they're creative, and they need to be able to add their own creativity to it, or it's no fun for them. And if you just make it work for everybody, you're going to get a novel that, or you're going to get a graphic novel that just seems like work. So it's important to be able to let everybody do it. Although it's really hard for me, because I'm a control freak. It's my stuff, my world. You can't do that. Okay, we talked about this, Jim. Yeah, back here.
How did you come up with cats? You write great cat characters.
Thank you so much. My cat characters, actually, I've never had cats. My ex was badly allergic to them, and so we never had them in the house or anything. It was never even an issue. But I do have a lot of friends who had cats, and mostly what I knew was not cats as much as cat people. And cat people are crazy people. You're all mad. I'm just telling you that, because those savage little creatures would eat you if they could. Actually, it's a bit of a misstatement, because I'm actually a cat person now. I got my fiance 3 cats, 3 kittens, and oh my gosh, they're Maine Coon kittens. They're adorable. Although once they're living with me, I will never be able to wear white or black again. But she got them, and she actually named them after the cats in Aeronauts Windless. So, you know, we have a real life Raoul and a real life Meryl. And then the biggest one is this, and he's giant already. He's bigger than any cat I've ever seen, and he's only 6 months old. And he's getting bigger, and he's completely white with one gold eye and one blue eye. And so, and we named him Bowie. And he is the most relaxed, I mean, he's like a miniature mountain lion, and he is the most relaxed creature in the whole world. I can just go over to him and pick him up and be like, okay, Bowie, we're going to have snuggle time now. And Bowie's like, yeah, all right. You seem to need some of my awesome. I will share it. And then I put him down, and after that, it's just whenever he feels like it, he'll just come over and sit down on my chest. Like, you declared that we could have snuggle time whenever I wanted. Did you not read that fine print? You're not awesome enough. Let me help. Except for Harley when he purrs, it's just like. So anyway, I'm going to be a cat person now. Yeah, whatever. These cats, I swear. At the back here.
Are you still playing your live action game?
Am I still playing my live action game? Yes, I've got a game coming up on Halloween, actually. And it's in Lawrence. I'm going I'm going with my family, and we're all playing the servants of this noble house, and my son is playing the noble lord of the house. And so we're all playing, like, you know, I'm his bodyguard, and some of the healer is his personal physician, and the mage is his personal scribe, and so on and so forth. So we'll have a good time with that. So he's not a favored son of his house, so he gets all the kind of quirky servants that you really can't let be shown out in public. So basically, he's got the staff from the Addams Family. You know, so I'm like his personal fighter. I'm like actually a very high level character who's really tough in the game, and who goes around serious all the time and talks like this all the time, but has a horrible lisp. So he really can't be taken seriously. His name is serious. You know, well, what do you think we should do? I think we should kill them with kindness. You think we should make friends with them? No. Shing. It is kindness. All right, I'll stop geeking at you with mine. Let me tell you about my LARP character. Oh God, I can't believe you guys let me get away with that. Let's see, I'm going to try and spread and get people that haven't got a chance to ask yet.
So you mentioned Harry has a new spirit of intellect to play around with. What kind of knowledge base does that spirit come with? Does it have Harry's knowledge or Bob's exposure to?
Okay. If you are a totally no spoilers person, do this and go la la la. Bonnie has been born with a tremendous amount of new knowledge. The problem is that, you know, even though she's got all this knowledge, basically everything that Harry's ever learned, she has no context for that knowledge. So the first time we see her, Harry walks in and she's very excited because she looks at him and she says, "Pancakes are inanimate!" And Harry has to look at her and go, "Well, you're not wrong." But the thing is like, you know, she's in there with Maggie and they're making pancakes because she knows 375 pancake recipes, 17 of which can be made with the ingredients in the kitchen. But they don't know how to tell if the pancake's done cooking or not. You know, because you're supposed to flip it over when golden brown. How can you tell it's golden brown? It's laying in the pan. It just looks white. You know, so. You know, there's a lot of balancing to be done there. Those intellect spirits are not really useful the first couple of generations. You got to train them a lot. Yeah.
Is Harry's mom a changeling?
Is Harry's mom a changeling?
Was she?
Or was she a changeling? No. Harry's grandma was mortal, but you'll find out more about her in the book. Here in the next book. Here in the back.
So you talked about the multiverse, outsiders, the same outsiders for every universe, or is there different outsiders?
Oh, why do you ask hard questions? I'm pretty sure the outsiders are the outsiders, and they just sort of look different depending on which universe they're trying to get into and destroy. But yeah, I mean, as far as multiverses go, we'll get to see more about that. Not in the next Dresden book, but not in 16, but in 17. 17 is called Mirror Mirror because why not? You know, there's going to be eye patches and goatees and scars and everything. You know, so. Yeah, it's not broken. Don't fix it. You know. Let's see, right here.
I was noticing that Harry has some worries about what the Queen of Winter has in mind for him. When are you going to come up with something that addresses what she chose him to be the Knight of Winter for?
When am I going to come up with something that tells us what Mab chose Harry to be the Knight of Winter for?
I suspect that one of the things she chose him for is to clean the winter mantle of some of the obsessions.
Okay. That's an interesting theory. He thinks that she chose Harry to clean the winter mantle with some of the obsessions in it, and that's a viable fan theory. Poker face, poker face.
Yes, it runs to Conesolera. Conesolera, you have multiple houses, all we try to save them and then back. A giant wall of ice and a giant territory covers our winter. Did George Martin rip you off?
Oh, did George Martin rip me off for Alera? No, I totally ripped him off. Although I didn't realize I had. I think I probably got that from looking at a map of Westeros, but I only read like the first few, I think about the first third of the book. I got bored right about the time Tyrion got thrown in the Sky Cell because he was the only one who was interested in doing anything, and I never went back to it. The show's good though. Yeah, Tyrion is the man in that show. Oh my gosh. Is he in the books as well? Okay, I believe you. Feature.
Quick question, it's not going to be, I don't know if it's PC or not, but how do you feel about George Martin? I mean, you give your fans everything they want, your books, you write epic fantasies, you make them happy. How do you feel about a George Martin that seems to stretch out his books so much as a professional author? Maybe for an HBO series, maybe because he's world building. I mean, how do you feel about something like that as an author?
George makes different calls than I would, but George has to make different calls than I would, or he wouldn't be George, he'd be me. I mean, I know what, I mean, I kind of, he's coming at it from a very different perspective. And I think he comes from a different perspective of fan relations as well. I was one of the first guys that really had a whole ton of fan interactions based purely on the internet. Which is where a lot of my early readership came from, because I would just be over at my site and having conversations with people and so on about the book or whatever cool movie had come out or whatever. George has been working longer than that. He's probably had a different experience than I have. So, I mean, everybody's got to write the way that they've got to write, or it just won't work out. Okay, thank you. So really, I feel for George when he gets frustrated. When it's like whenever anybody asks me when the next book's going to be done, I kill a Stark. It's like, okay, I feel your rage, man. That can sometimes be frustrating, but it's one of the hazards that goes along with professional writing and success in professional writing, because it's not like. Really, there's all kinds of problems with this job as my career has gone up. But oh my God, they're awesome problems. People keep wanting more books. Oh wow, how awful that is. My arm is killing me because I signed too many autographs. I would have murdered somebody for that problem before I got published. So that's the thing to focus on, is the fact that the problems maybe there are the good ones. I don't know. I would make different calls than George. I think George sees the world fundamentally differently than I do. Which is probably why my books are so much more ridiculous than his. But right here.
Is Bob going to be allowed to have anything to do with Bonnie?
Is Bob going to be allowed to have anything to do with Bonnie? Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to get to write that conversation or not, but Harry's definitely going to have that shotgun and you're not going to touch my daughter conversation. Plus, Bob is working with Butters now. He's the adjunct to the